Hey, welcome back guys, this is Grimsy42, and this is, I guess, part 2 of my pickups for the Quest for NES. Alright guys, so on the last part I started showing you my pickups that I'd gotten on the way, and then some of the stuff that I actually got at Midwest Gaming Classic. In this episode I'm going to show you the rest of the stuff. Obviously, since I'm trying to get complete NES, my goal was NES carts. I did pick up a few things that weren't NES oriented, but mostly that was my focus, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the rest of the stuff that I got now. First stuff I want to show you is a couple games I picked up from my buddy Joel. I will link his channel below. He's actually really close to complete NES. I'm pretty sure all he's missing is stadium events, so that's very impressive. I also had met up with him at Con Bravo last year, and I actually picked up a copy of Bucky O'Hare off him, among other things, so I was definitely happy to see him again, and this time he didn't disappoint with what he had for me. The first title I picked up, I kind of semi-regret, but at the same time I don't, because I didn't have it. It's a copy of Funhouse, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, but as you can see up there, hopefully, the top label is a bit damaged, but it's an inexpensive title, so I figured at least for now it's just a spot to fill on the shelf, and then I'll just upgrade it later. This next one I picked up just because I actually already own it, but you never see this with a perfect label. This, just like other games like Wario's Woods and Cliffhanger, is very notorious for the top label kind of peeling up, and in this case it wasn't, so I was so blown away by that, and the fact that it's a really good game, and some say it's kind of trending up. 8-Bit Eric has been quoted to say that. He actually just picked it up recently in a video, and I think he paid a lot for it, like maybe 20 bucks, so I definitely got this for a lot less, but it's a copy of Vice Project Doom, and again, top label not sticking up, and it's super clean, so definitely grateful to Joel for that. This next one, I always hoped I would see, but I never really thought I would run into it, and it's in pretty darn good shape for what it is. I'm not sure if I'm collecting variants yet, but when I see them, I definitely pick them up if the price is right, and this is a variant that I definitely wanted to grab. It is the 5-screw of The Legend of Zelda. You guys probably remember seeing this in my first episode of the Quest for NES. I used it for an example of variants on this specific cart, but that's where I got it, was from Joel, and again, it is very clean, so definitely happy to grab that. This last one, oh boy, this one has been a bane in my collecting existence. I really wasn't even aware of it at first, and once I became aware of it, I knew I had to get it, so I was definitely on the lookout for it. Little did I know that the first version, I believe it was made by Taito, of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade was not the last one. There was a second Last Crusade, and it was by Ubisoft, who's a very well-known publisher now, but they were kind of obscure and unknown back then. Well, Joel had tipped me off that he actually had not only the cart, but the manual for it, and I was super excited, so I definitely checked it out, and we did a little haggling, and thankfully I was able to come home with it. And it is a very clean copy, as you can see. It looks like the label might want to be peeling a little at the top, but one little trick I like to use for that, there's two things that I'll do depending on the severity of it. The first thing I'll try to do is take my wife's hairdryer and kind of run the hairdryer against the top of the label to kind of see if I can reactivate that glue that's been, sitting there for God knows how long. And if that works, I'll press it back down. That will normally, do the trick. If for whatever reason that won't work, I very carefully will take a razor blade and actually peel up the entirety of the top label. And then I will take a toothpick with super glue and very carefully and very lightly cover the entire label and go ahead and fold it back over. With that light amount, usually none trickles out of the back, and super glue is not going anywhere, so that label will stay down. I really don't like to do it on the higher end games. I usually only do it on the commons, but it's a last ditch type of thing, so anyways, definitely happy to get this, again, with manual. And I will go ahead, like I said, and link Joel's channel down below. definitely check him out. Really cool guy. Definitely took care of me here, so I was definitely grateful for that. Thanks again, man. Okay, this next one I've got kind of an idea, and we'll see how well it works, but you actually didn't see it, but in episode 35 of the Game Chasers, when we were all at that store in the mall in Canada, Eric actually picked this title up, and I was quite jealous because at the time I didn't have it, but I actually finally found my own copy. However, my copy is in pretty rough shape, and as you can see here, all these stickers and goo, and it's a copy of The Magician. But I have faith in myself that I can get this cleaned up, so why don't we cut here and see how I do. Like magic. All clean. So hopefully that serves as a prelude to how I can do going forward, but that one wasn't too bad. These labels were definitely a nightmare, so I was definitely happy to get rid of those. Anyways, moving on. This one I actually purchased as a label upgrade. My copy was sun faded on the top. It's a copy of Ghoul School. This next one was one of the last Tengen games that I still needed, and it's Fantasy Zone. This one's got a few labels on it, but they'll definitely come off a lot easier. I actually got this one for $10, if you guys can see that. I thought that was pretty darn good. It's the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, so that was definitely a good score. This next one I picked up not knowing whether or not I had it, and it turns out I didn't, so that worked out well. It's Nightshade by Ultra, which, if you guys didn't know, is also the sister company to Konami. Okay, got another Tengen game here. I actually already have the box for this one. It's Skull and Crossbones. This next one's a little roughed up. It's a little worse for the wear, but I got a pretty good price on it. I don't know if you guys can see there. It says $15, and hopefully you can see the label is a little roughed up. But this is Solitaire. It's one of the last AVE games I needed. And I asked the guy, because of the damaged label, if I could get a discount, and he actually gave it to me for $5. So for $5, I'll definitely take it in the condition it's in and just upgrade later. This next one I was definitely happy to pick up until I didn't pay attention and realized the back label was messed up. But I'll definitely just swap that out whenever I find a matching back. And it's Terra Cresta, which is a pretty good shmup, if I'm not mistaken. This next one I had a tough time tracking down, and I have no idea why. It seems like it's something that would be very common. It's 2-on-2 round ball challenge. This next one is, I don't know, pretty valuable, I guess. It's difficult to find. It's by the company Sammy, and it's Might and Magic. This next one I already had the box for, so definitely was on the prowl to pick this one up to get closer to completing my copy, and it's Monster Truck Rally. This next one is a game by Acclaim/LJN, and it's almost impossible to find it with a good label. Thankfully I did, and it's Alien 3, and you can also notate that on the back there it'll say Acclaim. Next one, I had to do a little haggling to get. The guy didn't want to part with it for what he had it for, but I waited till the last day and I was able to get a pretty good price on it. It's the Dungeons & Dragons Pool of Radiance. This next one I don't know much about. Looks like it's a shmup of some sort. It's Image Fight. This one actually is coming full circle. I'm really happy to have finally picked this up. I actually got this for Terry and Tyler before I even had it, and it's the AVE version of Impossible Mission 2. There's two more versions of this. One is kind of like a cheaper looking label, and then the other one is seriously just looking like a black and white label. So I'm going to have to figure out if those are just label variants of the same version or what. But I'm going to look into that before I decide how many more iterations of that I'm going to get. This next one I've seen a few times, and I'm glad I waited because I was able to find it in good shape and for a good price. It's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, the Tengen version. And last but not least, I've been on the prowl for this one for a while. I already have the manual for it. It's got a little bit of label damage and some stickers, but I can take care of that. It's a copy of Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu. It's a Hudson Soft title, and apparently it also has writing on the back. But this one looks to be very fun, and something that I definitely want to get cleaned up and into much better physical condition before adding to my shelf. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up this week's quest for NES Pickups. I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely more coming, and thanks for watching. Take care.